The Chicago Bears wrapped up their second day of training camp, and today was more action-packed than yesterday. The offense dominated the defense yesterday, but today the defense fought back. Now don't get me wrong, Justin Fields still showed why he is who we think he is. He did have a pretty good day in the office. It just wasn't as sharp as yesterday, as like I said, the defense was making plays all over the place. And as a fan, that's exactly what you want to hear, that the defense is putting on a show during camp as well. You don't want to just hear one side is dominating the other. You want to hear that the team is balanced and is going to be able to handle both sides of the ball. Now don't worry, the offense did some things that are going to make you excited. Just hold on, I'll get to that in a moment. But the defense was all over the place, and they had a bunch of moments where they almost intercepted Fields. The one downside to that is that they didn't come down with any turnovers, and they really need to come down with these dropped interceptions. Eddie Jackson had a moment where he jumped a route and nearly picked Fields. It bounced right off of him. Also, Kyler Gordon blew up a screenplay and the ball hit him, but he dropped it as well, didn't come up with it. Another player blew up a screen earlier. Justin Fields kind of threw it right in his chest and he didn't come away with the catch. And then there were two instances where safeties Kendall Williamson and Elijah Hicks both nearly intercepted Justin Fields. So the defense is definitely making plays as far as positioning goes and deflecting the pass, but you want to see them come down with the turnovers. As far as the defensive line goes, there's no pads yet, so you can't really judge their play, but DeMarcus Walker has been extremely active and vocal on the defensive line. He's clearly becoming one of the defensive leaders, and I think he's a sneaky candidate for being a team captain. There was an instance during practice where the defense kept getting beat and DeMarcus Walker was very verbal and yelling at the defense to basically get it together. It's really nice to see somebody taking over that leadership role on the front line of the defense, and honestly, everyone knows we're still thinking about signing a defensive end, but DeMarcus Walker is no slouch. He's bringing so much energy to the team, so much energy within the trenches that the Bears desperately needed, so it's great to hear he's being such a leader in camp. But there was another player on the defensive line who also was turning heads, and that's edge rusher Terrell Lewis. Terrell started his career with the Rams, where they had him as an off-ball linebacker, and honestly, they were probably playing him out of position. The Bears acquired him last season and moved him to edge. He was just injured and didn't get to showcase himself, but so far during training camp, he is making an appearance. From what I understand, he has been giving Darnell Wright some fits. Obviously, once again, the pads are not on, so we won't know until the pads are on, but from what we are seeing, Terrell Lewis definitely is a nice spark. So keep an eye on him all throughout training camp. He really might surprise a lot of people, especially with the edge position being so thin. Linebacker Jack Sanborn is still recovering from an ankle injury from last year, and Dylan Cole, linebacker signed from the Tennessee Titans, he also got shaken up during practice today. So rookie linebacker Noah Sewell got a few first team reps today, and honestly he looked pretty decent. Nothing super noteworthy. It's not like he made any big play, but he definitely looked the part and he definitely fit in within the starting defense. Jaquan Brisker had a good day as well. He had some nice knockdowns. Overall, the secondary looked solid. They didn't let Justin Fields completely pick them apart, and anything that the offense did get, they had to really work for. It had to be perfect throws by Justin Fields in tight windows. Cornerback 1 Jalen Johnson didn't participate much today. He was off by himself for the good part of practice. He's still ramping up back from an injury. But something really cool that everybody got to see was Bears legend Charles Peanut Tillman mentoring Jalen Johnson on the sideline, giving him some pointers. So that was really cool to see 33 times 33 working together. Before we move on to the offense, my overall notes of the defense for today was feisty. They were resilient, they did not give up, they didn't allow the offense to bully them around. They definitely fought back today compared to yesterday, where seemingly the offense dominated the defense yesterday. But like I said earlier, the offense didn't necessarily fold either. They definitely put on a show as well. It was a great back and forth battle today. I'm not really sure who won the day. I think both the offense and the defense put on a show for the first open practice of the season in front of all the fans. And no matter what the defense throws at the offense, Justin Fields to DJ Moore seems to still be bread and butter. Hang tight, I will go more in depth with DJ Moore and Justin Fields because there is a lot to talk about there, but before I get to that, I want to talk about some of the other players. Tyler Scott continues to amaze everybody with his blazing speed. Some onlookers who were at camp today said that he really resembled former Chicago Bear Johnny Knox with his blazing speed and of course wearing the same number. If Tyler Scott continues to show out like this during camp, it's only a matter of time before some difficult conversations begin to happen, as right now he's only wide receiver 4 in the 3 guys ahead of him. 2 of them are on a contract year, so that's going to be something to really keep an eye on throughout camp. Tyler Scott had 2 long touchdown passes today, adding on to the touchdown passes from yesterday, which we do have some footage from the Bears of one of them, and man, it's going to be exciting to see his development with the team. Tyler Scott is Ryan Poles' 2nd drafted wide receiver, but his 1st drafted wide receiver, Velus Jones, also showed out today as well. He's having a great start to camp. He had a deep touchdown today, and it's not like he's just being a return specialist either. He's getting valuable reps with the offense, and he's looking like a pretty decent wide receiver compared to his rookie season. So that's really refreshing to hear Velus Jones Jr. having a great start to camp, as the Bears wide receiver room is extremely deep. Honestly, in all my years as a Bears fan, I don't ever recall our wide receiver room being this deep, and it's likely we're going to take 7 wide receivers into the season. And as far as starters go, like I said, I'll talk about DJ Moore in just a bit, but Chase Claypool and Darnell Mooney both had pretty bad drops today. They're gonna have to clean that up, especially with the young guys looking as good as they are, and extra especially since they are both on a contract season. Chase Claypool and Darnell Mooney are on expiring contracts, so they have no room to slip and they're gonna have to show out this year. Chase Claypool made it up on the very last play of practice, where he had a nice contested catch in the middle of the field. He bobbled it at first, but he secured it, and they finished off practice with a completion. I didn't hear anything from Cole Kmet today, but Robert Tonyan looked great. He had a nice move on Eddie Jackson in one-on-ones, showing his fluidity. He's going to be a reliable target for Justin Fields, and he's already looking pretty good in camp. Running back Treston Ebner, who's fighting for a roster spot, had a pretty decent day. He had a nice run with a pretty big cutback, and he had a nice catch running towards the sideline. But as far as the running backs go overall, Khalil Herbert seems to be running back number 1, and it is his spot to lose. Obviously, the Bears are going to be mostly a running back by committee. Khalil Herbert, Deontay Foreman, and Roschon Johnson are all going to get playing time this year, but it seems as though the top running back spot is Khalil Herbert's to lose, and he is looking sharper than ever. He's looking nice, quick, and agile. He's more of a leader than he was in previous years, and he's receiving out of the backfield better than he has his first 2 seasons in the NFL. Obviously, there's no pads on, so we can't fully judge, but so far, Khalil Herbert is the main guy. And same thing goes for the offensive line. No pads, no comment on them. Now moving on to the main attraction, what the people want to hear, DJ Moore and Justin Fields. Justin Fields wasn't as sharp today as he was yesterday, but that's not a big deal. Not every day is he going to be perfect, but today, the one thing that really stood out to me is that he's throwing the ball away when there's nothing there and when defense has really good coverage. There's multiple times where he's throwing the ball away or going to his check down, which was one of his weaknesses last season, where he held on to the ball way too long and wasn't decisive with the ball. So it's nice to hear he's getting the ball out faster and throwing it away when nothing is there. And like I said earlier, he did have multiple instances where he was almost intercepted, but you want him to be aggressive this early in camp, as it is contactless, there's no pads, so this is where you want to see him try to get the ball in there. It's really beautiful what Ryan Poles was able to do this offseason in acquiring DJ Moore, because DJ is an absolute safety blanket for Justin Fields. Even when seemingly nothing is there, Fields can still just throw it in the vicinity of DJ Moore and he's gonna come down with it. Just like back when we had Jay Cutler and Brandon Marshall, and Cutler could rely on Marshall all game long no matter the circumstances, that is what Justin Fields has in DJ Moore. A wide receiver like Moore makes his quarterback better by making something out of nothing. When the quarterback doesn't have anything, he can always rely on his main guy, and DJ Moore is a bona fide wide receiver 1. It's exactly what Stephon Diggs was to quarterback Josh Allen. It's exactly what AJ Brown was to quarterback Jalen Hurts. DJ Moore is Justin Fields' superstar wide receiver who is going to make him better and ultimately the team better. Overall, today was a good day in camp. It wasn't as sharp as yesterday. There were some false starts today, some dropped passes, some dropped interceptions, some fumbles. It was a lot more sloppy than yesterday, but in the bigger picture, the team is looking solid, definitely light years ahead of where we were last year, and it is an exciting time to be a Chicago Bears fan. Subscribe to stay updated, as I will be bringing you guys every bit of information I possibly can get my hands on during training camp. Stay tuned for my next video for camp tomorrow, day 3, and in the meantime, watch my previous video, and I'll see you guys there.